Now let's apply that same rule of thumb to I to the power of 23 as well as I to the power of negative 15. Remember, we want the highest multiple of 4 that can go into that number. And so in this case, we have 23. Remember, the highest multiple of 4 just below 23 is actually 20. So we can rewrite this as I to the power of 20 plus 3. Applying our laws of indices, we get I to the power of 20 times I to the power of 3. And we know I to the power of 20 is really I to the power of 4, all to the power of 5. Of course, we get times I cubed. All right, remember any power of I to the power of 4, in this case, we have I to the power of 4, all raised to the power of 5. That will just evaluate to 1. And so the final answer here is I to the power of 3, which is the same as the negative square root of negative 1. Applying the same rule to I to the power of negative 15. Remember, we want the multiple of 4 that is just below, right? That is negative relative to the current power. So we're not going to use negative 12. We're going to use negative 16 because remember, we want a multiple of 4 and one of these excess, right? 1, 2, 3, or 4. And we know that, well, negative 15 is the same as negative 16. That's a multiple of 4 plus, right, the excess. We know I to the power of 1. Right, so we can rewrite this as I to the power of negative 16 plus 1. Splitting it, we get I to the power of negative 16 times I to the power of 1. And so the result here will be, we know this is I to the power of 4, all to the power of negative 4. Remember, power of a power, right? A to the power of m all to the power of n is the same as a to the m times n, right? And we have times I to the power of 1. I get rid of this, right? Any power of I to the power of 4 is 1. So we don't need to deal with this part here anymore. So the final answer here is really I to the power of 1, which we know is the square root of negative 1. And that there is our answer.